So Mass Effect Andromeda has introduced various puzzles, ones for platforming, those inside the vaults, and of course, the Monolith Glyph Puzzles, which can cause a little frustration. Hi, it's Rima from MEOdyssey, and today I'm going to give you a small guide showing you how I try to solve these puzzles using a little internal method of mine. And yes, as of releasing this video, a patch has come out, making the Remnant encryption codes a little bit more readily available, so if you do get stuck, there is an easy fix. You can also get full resolutions to all the puzzles on YouTube and in the official game guide, but if you're stuck on the puzzles and you want some tips how to tackle them without cheating, here's some tips with some of my gameplay in the background, so let's get this started. So along with the videos, I've also made some pretty simple visual aids to kind of illustrate my points. Most of the puzzles in-game will either be 4x4 or 5x5 grids, but for this guide we'll be using a 5x5 grid to illustrate the points. And we're just going to use some very simple shapes because I am not attempting to draw those glyphs. I'm sure you guys already know, but for those of you who don't, the aim of the puzzle is to find empty spaces between symbols already provided. However, no column or row can have a repeating symbol. Think of a smaller, simpler version of Sudoku. The first thing I look for is normally lines with the most amount of spaces filled in, meaning you have the least amount to fill in and the least amount of work to do. So in my example, both these lines highlighted only have 2 gaps compared to the rest, therefore making them probably the easiest place to start. Once you find the easiest line, you try and identify what symbols are missing. In this case, there's a circle and a cross missing. However, you should also look for the same symbols in the intersecting columns and rows, such as this circle, which is highlighted in an intersecting line. This allows you to easily place the symbols, in this case forcing you to place a circle in an alternate column to the circle that's already highlighted. Then you move on to the next line with the least amount of gaps, identifying what the missing symbols are, in this case a circle and a triangle, and again identifying conflicting symbols in intersecting lines. In this case, both the gaps have symbols in intersecting lines that could conflict, so just place the symbols accordingly. As you go, corresponding lines will slowly fill up, but as long as you look for the lines with the least amount of gaps, it basically fills itself. For example, the next line only has 1 gap, therefore you just fill in the missing symbol, the inverted triangle, and then you keep the pattern going. Looking for the line, column or row with the least amount of gaps, then looking for intersecting lines sharing symbols that could conflict with your missing symbols, and you keep working through it until it pretty much fills itself. If you follow the pattern, conflicting lines should help you place your symbols correctly. For example, in my example, the last row left has 3 gaps with the rest of the grid all filled up. The missing symbols are a triangle, an inverted triangle, and a square. Highlighted are the conflicted symbols. However, the 2 center gaps that are missing conflict with all the symbols. However, if you notice, if you swap the triangle symbols around, they will easily fit and leave a perfect gap for your square. To kind of put this into the terms of the Mass Effect puzzles, here's a sped up video of one of the puzzles I solved in the later stages of the game, using the method I just used to illustrate it a little bit better. And just a small addition to this video, today I placed a question on Twitter asking you what your opinions were regarding these puzzles, and your answers were quite interesting. A lot of you said you liked them and that they added to the challenge and made sense for the plot. However, others pointed out that they do break immersion from time to time and sometimes can just be plain annoying. But what do you think about the puzzles? And not just the puzzles from the monoliths, but also the various ones in the vaults, and how did they compare to your experiences from the trilogy? And hopefully this little mini guide will help any of you who did kind of struggle with the puzzles, and hopefully my method does make sense. If there's any other guides you want us to look at for Mass Effect Andromeda, let us know in the comments below. But with that short video, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and please share this video to help the channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.